Right now, wherever you are, I want you to picture the back of your refrigerator, that black grill of coils or the vents tucked down near the floor. Go and hold your hand near them later today, and you'll notice something strange. They're warm. Sometimes they're actually hot. The one machine in your whole house whose entire job, its only job, is to make things cold, is quietly breathing out heat all day, every day. So here's the question. How does your fridge actually make things cold? And here's the little twist that trips almost everyone up. It doesn't. It can't. Nothing can make cold. Not your fridge, not your freezer, not an air conditioner, nothing that has ever been built. I'm Mister. Why? And let me show you what's really going on inside that humming box, because once you see it, you will never look at your kitchen quite the same way. Let's start with the strangest part, the thing nobody ever tells you. Cold is not a substance. There is no such thing as cold that a machine can pour into your food, the way you pour in milk. Cold is just our word for less heat. Heat is the thing that's actually real. It's the tiny, jiggling motion of all the little particles inside your milk, your leftovers, your ice cream. When they jiggle fast, we call it hot. When they slow down, we call it cold. So to make something colder, you can't add cold, because there is no cold to add. You can only do one single thing: take the heat out and carry it somewhere else. That's it. That is the whole secret. Your fridge is not a cold maker. It is a heat remover. And to understand how it removes that heat, you only need one thing you've already felt 100 times. Have you ever climbed out of a swimming pool on a breezy day and suddenly felt freezing, even though the air around you is warm? Or dabbed a little rubbing alcohol on your arm and felt it go cold? That chill has a cause, and that cause is the single idea your entire fridge is built on. When a liquid turns into a gas, when the water or the alcohol on your skin evaporates and floats away, it doesn't leave for free. To make that jump from liquid to vapor, it needs energy, and it grabs that energy as heat, straight out of the nearest thing it's touching, which is your skin. So the droplets fly off, and they carry a little of your body's warmth away with them, and what's left behind feels cold. The cold you feel is, quite literally, heat leaving. Hold on to that, because your fridge does this exact thing, on a loop, forever. Inside your fridge there's a sealed loop of thin pipes, and running through them is a special liquid we call the refrigerant. It's chosen for one particular talent. It boils at a ridiculously low temperature, far, far colder than water ever would. Let's follow it all the way around the loop. First stop. The pipes hidden behind the inner walls of the fridge, right next to your food. Here, the refrigerant is allowed to do the one thing it's dying to do. It boils. It evaporates. And just like the alcohol on your arm, the very instant it turns to gas, it drinks in heat, this time straight out of your milk, your leftovers, and the air inside the box. Your food gives up its warmth, gets colder, and the refrigerant, now a gas, carries that stolen heat away with it. Next stop. That warm gas gets pumped out toward the coils on the back or the bottom, the warm ones we started with. And on the way, it runs into the compressor. That's the motor, the thing you hear humming and clicking on in the middle of the night. The compressor grabs the gas and squeezes it. Hard. And here's a small bonus fact you can feel for yourself. Squeezing a gas heats it up. Pump up a bicycle tire quickly, and the pump gets warm in your hand, same physics. So now, the refrigerant is a squeezed, furious, very hot gas, hotter now than your kitchen. And that is the clever part, because heat always flows from the hotter thing to the cooler thing. Since the gas is now hotter than the room, its heat pours out through those back coils into your kitchen air all by itself, no pushing required. And as it dumps that heat, it cools down and settles back into a liquid. That is why the back of your fridge is warm. You are feeling the heat of your own food, plus the heat of the motor leaving the machine. Then the liquid slips through one last tiny narrow valve. The pressure suddenly drops, it turns icy cold again in an instant, and it's ready to slide back inside and boil and steal more heat. Round and round, all day and all night, bailing heat out of the box, one bucketful at a time. Now, there's one honest catch, and it's the reason your fridge is never free and never quite silent. Heat, left entirely to itself, only ever rolls downhill from hot things to cold things and never the other way. A warm room will happily warm up your cold drink. A cold drink will not on its own chill a warm room. But your fridge needs to do exactly that forbidden uphill thing, pull heat out of the already cold inside and shove it into the warmer kitchen. And pushing heat uphill, against the direction it wants to go, takes work. That work is the electricity humming in from the wall, and the muscle of it is the compressor. That is what you are actually paying for on your power bill. Not cold, there's no cold to buy. You're paying to move heat in the direction it flatly refuses to go on its own. And once that clicks, a very ordinary machine turns into something a little bit wonderful. Your fridge isn't a magic cold box at all. It's a tireless little pump running a bucket brigade, scooping warmth out of your food, hauling it round to the back and heaving it out into your kitchen over and over for years on end. Which leads straight to the fact that catches almost everybody out. On a sweltering summer day, you might be tempted to leave the fridge door hanging wide open to cool the room down. Please, don't bother. It does the exact opposite. The fridge would grab heat from the front of your kitchen and dump it right back out into the same kitchen, plus all the extra heat the straining motor makes doing it. Leave that door open and your room gets warmer, not cooler. A fridge can only cool something if the heat has somewhere else to go. Which, by the way, is the entire idea behind an air conditioner. It's the very same machine, just arranged to dump the heat out through your window instead of out the back of a box. Same trick. Bigger scale. Nobody, anywhere, actually makes cold. We only ever move heat around and then call the emptied out space that's left behind cold. So how does your fridge make things cold? It doesn't. It steals the heat out of your food and quietly breathes it out the back, and that's why those coils are warm. That warmth is last night's dinner on its way out of the building. Here's what I'd love you to do. Later today, reach around behind your fridge, or crouch down by the vents at the bottom and just feel it. Is it warm? Warmer than you expected? Come and tell me in the comments. I really do read them, and tell me honestly whether you'd ever once noticed it before today. And if you enjoy having the everyday machines around you quietly taken apart like this, subscribe and stick around for more simple lessons from Mr. Y. Next up, how a thermos keeps your coffee hot and your ice cold at the very same time with no power, no motor, and no idea whatsoever which one is which.